before we get started.
Cool. Yeah, I'm ready.
Done. All right. I'm ready. We're going to count it down. 35. Oh,
Your
whose
week.
turn is it? My week? Cool.
Yeah.
25. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Answer the Call. Big week, kind of. Big sort of week. It's weird. I wonder if people are going to be excited or not excited about some of this stuff. So we're very, very curious about the calls because I'm super excited. But if you guys aren't familiar with Answer the Call, this is a Star Citizen podcast with myself, SaltEMike, and Croncy, where we talk about kind of what's gone on in the week or a specific topic, and then we open up our Discord and have you guys call in and tell us what you think. Obviously, people get very frustrated with content creators and their opinions, especially mine, and they want to. I thought that there was always a good idea. It was always a good idea to have a place where you can lift people up who don't necessarily have a platform and share their opinions on whatever the topics that we're talking about. Topics today I guess I should have said mission. Well, I guess missions, ship, and mining updates, because those are kind of the three big things. That's what 4.1.1 is all about, and that's what we're going to talk about today. I don't know if there's any other newsy things that you might want to talk about, Croncy, but that's kind of the main focus for me this week. But before we get started, how you been? How was your week? What'd you get up to?
So tired.
Me too.
I'm so tired.
Me too.
I worked a lot of nights this week, and then all of it's the holidays at the moment, so like just all of the family meetings and stuff.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm if I'm not extremely responsive today, that's why. I fully intend on falling asleep the second the podcast is over, pretty much.
Gotcha. I know that feeling. Working nights, but then having stuff you have to do during the day is literally
like, why does my family have to organize stuff at a reasonable time of the day?
Exactly.
It's messed up. Just do stuff at 3 a.m.
It's horrible. That was the hard. I loved working nights. I did not like, because the people at night are just more cool. People during the day like complain a lot. People at night are more chill.
True, so true.
But
yeah, for sure.
But then there's these other things like, real life responsibilities. They all happen during the day. It's not fun. But yeah, dude, what a week. Crazy week. Anything in particular that like excited you the most that you would want to start with while you're still awake? while we still have you?
So I actually don't think it was that big of a week, but it was a lot of just news that sort of came through. The biggest thing for me was just the big quality of life change.
Disappeared, but there we go.
The biggest thing for me though that I was excited about this week was the big quality of life change with refining, and just the implications that has for the future of solo and multi-crew mining gameplay. Is huge.
100%.
So if anyone's unaware, you can now finally send your refining orders from the refinery to the local storage, to your freight elevator, basically. So this means a ton of different things. For example, if I am part of an org, I like to mine, but I don't have necessarily a cargo ship, right? Like, let's say I don't have a Hercules in this example. I can still, spend my entire week mining, start storing it up inside my freight elevator, and then Billy, who's in the org and does have a Hercules, can come into my hangar and we can ship it off, right? That's massive.
Yeah. On the other side of it is, somebody who we often raid after the podcast on Twitch is like a Red Monster, or my org does this stuff as well, where we like to we like to like try and min-max, figure out what the most efficient way of doing things in, and it is definitely the most efficient way to mine and salvage by having your miners and salvagers mining and salvaging, and that's it. If they have to worry about going back to the refinery and dealing with refinery jobs, that slows the mining part down, right? So if you're focused, like, that's why everybody was so excited in the mining world with the star map having the ability to like mark something, because then you could go out all day and mark a bunch of rocks and then immediately quantum travel to them and get them, right? Like, and then you're just mining. You're not doing all this extra stuff. So the idea is you can also refine from the bags, right? And I don't know if you exactly touched on that, but taking the bags off of your prospector, putting them in the freight elevator and refining from them, that's what's on the screen right now, is pretty big deal. Now, if you have a giant amount of bags in your station and then you refine from them, guess what? It's just one job. So your station is considered a ship. It's not like I can choose only a little bit of it. You got to choose all of it or lose it, kind of thing. The bags are consumed when you refine from them, so that's not a good thing. But if you repair
especially
your
ship, as they cost like 20k each, right?
But if you repair your ship, they cost nothing. They come back at 0. So all you have to do is damage your ship 1 credit, and you get them right back. So I think they'll probably consider that an exploit.
Yeah, they'll probably change that. That feels not. I wouldn't maybe push as far as sounding like an exploit, but it feels wrong, right? It feels like it should cost something, but it definitely should not cost 20k. That is far too much. That's eating way too much into your potential profits.
It's a bug that the bags get consumed, and they just shouldn't be consumed, right? You should just empty the bag, and then it's no problem. But that's a really big deal for that kind of stuff. And all this really means is it's a big deal for the future of the game. It means literally nothing right now. People like myself, people like Red Monster, it is straight up roleplay to mine that way. Because there is no point in mining. There are better ways to make money. None of this matters at the moment. But the point that you make is the best one, is that you don't have to put a refined job into a ship and then take it out and store it in a station. You can just leave it in a station. It gives you the biggest bag or biggest box that you can possibly put it in at that moment, and then you can go and send it out on any ship that you want later on, which is that's the big deal of all the stuff that's there. But the long-term implications are huge for the future of what they said mining would be. We'll see what happens, but from everything that they said, this is kind of like, ooh, I can focus on mining exclusively if I want to, and just mining, and other people can do the other stuff, which is a very MMO thing to happen, right? We talk a lot about MMOs, and that's a very, very MMO thing, is like, I like mining, and that's all I want to do. I want to mine all day, every day, and that's all I'm going to do. That's how it works. So somebody in Twitch chat is asking, how does this work with Quantanium? I tried to find Quantanium. I really did, and I could not find any. So I can't tell you, but my guess is the moment the bag is put into a freight elevator, the timer stops. That's my guess, but it's just a guess for right now. Yeah, because that's how it works with the ships. So as soon as you store your ship, the timer stops. So fingers crossed.
I would say, like,
the same thing.
Logistically, if you so you were talking about, like, you can store your cargo, and then later you can use it all as like one order. Logistically, you probably won't want to do that right now, because like you would probably rather split them up. If you're using Dynex solventation, because you want maximum profits.
They're split up anyway.
The amount of time that like a 32 SEU, 96 SEU takes is like in a good spot where it's like a couple of days.
Yeah.
If you have like 500 SEU that you want to refine, and it's going to take weeks because it's all in the one order, you're not going to do that. So I feel like you'll probably use that less often, and you'll probably just do the input refining the same. But obviously, like I said, if you're doing it instead where it's, I am the guy that's going and picking up other people's bags and doing it, then sure.
Yeah, like I absolutely do not recommend that you store all the bags in one location and refine from there. If you're gonna do
Yep.
it, like it gets, again, it just straight up is RP at the moment, because this is like
Mhm.
the way that I have it in my mind is okay. Um, I have all my org members out mining and cargo hauling the bags back and forth. I'm sitting in the hangar on my SaltEMike account, let's say, and I'm
Mhm.
putting the bags down the freight elevator. All right. All the bags stored on one account. Okay, not very good if that's the account that I'm refining from. But how we like to do it is our org account that holds all the org money and all that stuff will deal with the expenses of refining, right? So then what I
Mhm.
can have, I can't believe like you literally have to multi-box to make this make sense, but I could have the SaltEMike account send 8 bags up. And
Yep.
then the 30K account sends them down. And then they go back and refine. Like that's the only way. So then the jobs are like reasonably priced, reasonably timed, and then it's not so bad.
Yep.
That's the only way I see it working. Another big thing that happened here, the 90 something SCU prospectors, the 100 and something SCU, 200 SCU moles, they're gone. That's
Yep.
gone. I don't know what people think about that, because now we're in this weird place where it was like, oh, you can get more cargo on a prospector and less on a golem or golem, yeah. And so it was like, oh, the golem's the starter version, 32 SCU only. The prospector can do more, then the mole can do even more, and it like all kind of made sense from this like stepping stone thing that they like to do that I've already mentioned many times that I
Yeah.
hate. Now now it's like, oh, the prospector and the golem are like here now. And it's like the
Mhm.
prospector customizability, the golem has none. And it's like, why would I use a golem? I don't know. There's one
Yeah.
reason, and I'm looking for it right now. It's going to be really hard for me to find in the VOD. I literally might have to bring up my editing software to show this. But mining bags, I don't know if you noticed this yet. We have the new bags on the golem.
Mhm.
They're 2 SCU high, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Mining bags, if this is the golem, mining bags are this much higher than them. So
Okay.
in Star Citizen's engine code or brain or whatever it's thinking, it goes mining bags are 3 SCU high. So any ship that is only has a 2 SCU high grid, you cannot snap mining bags to those ships. So think the perfect ship for mining bags, in my opinion, is the Star Lancer Max.
Yeah. Yep.
The side pods are 2 SCU high. You can't snap them.
Just at all, you can't snap them. Just straight
Nope.
up.
You can't put them under the catwalk in the Drake Caterpillar. And guys, when I'm talking, it is 30 centimeters. Like it's like
Yeah. Yeah.
nothing.
I wonder.
If they just shrunk them,
Like,
it would probably be fine.
yeah, but I wonder how much shrinking them would mess up, like just the regular, just the prospector or whatever. Um, but I guess actually, yeah, you only have to do it to the prospector in the mall, right? So
Yep. Why wouldn't you
yeah, please
standardize the
fix,
size?
please
Yeah.
fix.
Why wouldn't you
Yeah, yeah,
standardize it? It's just stupid.
yeah, yeah.
So
That's got to be the easiest way to fix it.
whether it causes issues or not, fix it.
Yeah.
Because it will cause less issues if you fix it. All these
Yeah,
cargo
yeah,
ships that
exactly.
don't exist, that won't work, is silly, right? So
Yeah.
fix it. And yeah, so I tested every cargo ship I had.
Mhm.
And some were way better than this than others. And how we figured out that it was definitely 3 SCU is there's only one ship in the game that has a 6 SCU high cargo grid, and it's the Hull C. And the only
Okay.
ship that you can stack 2 mining bags on top of each other is the Hull C. I actually have
There you
footage
go.
of that. So there you go. You can kind of
Yeah,
see
yeah,
it where they're stacked there. So that's how we
yeah.
kind of were like 100% sure that this was how it worked. So it was like, oh, okay, lots of weird stuff here, lots of
Mhm.
oversight and stuff like that. Another thing that has not been mentioned yet that I'm probably stealing a caller's idea, and I apologize. Um,
Mhm.
Piracy for mining is way
Yeah.
in the picture now, where it never was before.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Previously, it was pretty much just extortion,
yeah,
which is still like an interesting mechanic. But like now, you can actually take that loot and grab it for yourself, go refine it yourself, right?
yep.
Um, my question about this change in general is: do you think it is just straight up a quality of life change, or is it going to mean more for some more mining stuff in the future? Like we just had the Golem release, we just had the Geo release, we just had a massive, well, not mission, but like sandbox activity that involves mining.
Hmm.
Like, do you think it's just like on the plate at the moment, and there's just some more mining stuff to happen, or yeah, do you think it's just a straight
Just
up quality
quality
of
of
life
life.
change?
I believe it's just
Okay.
quality of life, and yeah, that's all I could say. I know it's just quality of
Yeah.
life, if you want put it that way, because I've talked to them about it, and
Mhm.
um, yeah. So I mean, that's really it. You can kind of see even in this that the bag is just slightly higher than the golem bag here. You might be able to
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
a quick look at it, but that's really all I have on this. It's pretty exciting. It's cool stuff, and just going down the list of issues in the game. You might look at us and go, "Oh, that's not a big deal." I can't use the mantis to snare people out of quantum right now. Like my bug isn't fixed yet. Rawr, I'm mad at you. It's like, dude, they're just going down a checklist, and somebody that was working on this particular thing got this particular bug
Yeah.
done, and that's just all it is, man. I don't know what else we're supposed to
Yep.
do. Like, I
Speaking of snapping to grids, that was one thing that I've noticed is that bug seems to be fixed as well. Is that
yes,
mining, like all of that stuff is actually snapping to grids at the moment for the
yep.
most part.
The refining stuff
So
came
that
on
was,
Tuesday.
yeah,
On
yeah,
Thursday's PTU, that's where we got the snapping. So they've been like going down the checklist of all the issues around
yeah,
mining ships, I guess, and that's definitely one of them. So
yeah,
yeah, cool stuff. I'm very very hyped for it. Maybe
yeah.
mining
Same.
missions now. Maybe that's how we do that. You know what? There you go. There's your question answered. This allows
Yeah,
mining missions to exist. Send the bags down with the
yep.
material that they're looking for. Mining mission complete. I don't think you could have done that without all of this stuff existing, right?
That's fair. Yeah, and it
Yeah,
allows for it in multiple steps too, whether it's refined or not. Right? Like it's
exactly.
yeah. Which obviously we got a taste of it during Supply or Die.
Yes.
That was like kind of a mining mission,
Sort
although
of.
for a lot of people ended up becoming a trading mission or a pirate mission. But
Yep.
like a more dedicated, like, hey, bring me raw something,
Yep.
would make a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Um,
100%.
so yeah, it wasn't just mining ships that got changed. There was also the raft change that happened this
Yeah.
week, which once again is just CIG starting to like in certain situations understand the assignment of like, hey, we had this cool idea for the way that like cargo would be held on these things, but just in practicality and in the gameplay was just not fun and didn't work well. Um, so yeah, we have a proper grid now.
Yeah, so they took out essentially the raft. You should only be 96 SCU. Excuse
Yeah,
me.
that sounds right.
So they took out all the extra collision that was supposed to like grab the boxes and bring them up, and said, "Yeah,
Hmm.
we're just gonna have a blank slate and open it up." And I have been talking about this for years personally. I think is just like, oh, cargo grids never make any sense. Cargo ships in the real world are literally a giant open space as much as possible, where they snap two different size containers. That's it. There is 20-foot equivalent and 40-foot equivalent containers in the real world. There's not
Hmm.
35 different sizes. There are two,
Yeah.
and ships are designed around those. And guess what? The
Yep.
the 20-foot is obviously half the size of the 40-foot, so two of them fit in a 40-foot spot. So it just makes
Yeah.
sense to do all that stuff, right? And this is just a empty pallet that you just place things on. Now, somebody asked about
Yep.
the mining bags on this ship. It's a too high grid. Mining bags do not
God damn it.
attach to this ship.
Because they would be amazing on this. Like you were just
Yeah.
talking, like the whole series is also like pretty good for that sort of stuff, right? Because it's the
Yep.
external cargo. But like the raft would be like a nice size as well.
Yep.
So Yeah, now I want that fixed even more.
Yeah, well, and a lot of people in this video that I had made were calling for like, hey, it doesn't make a lot of sense that the raft is only too high. It could totally fit 4 high. So I don't understand why they wouldn't do it. I think it's just straight up a balance thing. If it was 4 high,
Yeah,
then it would be a C2. It
pretty
would
much,
literally
yeah.
be a better C2.
With external cargo, which like in
Yeah.
most situations
Well,
is better.
it would be a better Caterpillar instead of a C2. It'd be a smaller,
Yeah, sure.
slightly smaller,
Yeah,
better Caterpillar. But we're talking about close to
yeah,
400 SCU then, and that's a lot. So I think that's the only
yeah,
reason that they were doing that is like, no, 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 no. We'll keep it at 192. I think that's the
yeah.
only reason for not doing it. But now, again, even more of a reason to shrink those mining bags just a tiny bit, since you might be
Hmm.
trading in those, right? So
Yep.
yeah,
Also, even from like a lore perspective, like the raft and the mole are supposed to be built on the same platform. You would imagine there would be uh not like modularity, like where like certain vehicles will use similar parts so they can like fit together, right? You would imagine this would be
yeah,
similar.
yeah, 100%. So
Yep.
I don't know, but I love it. I had never until this change really
Hmm.
walked around the raft. Oh,
Yep.
I love Argo ships, man. The interior
Yeah.
of them is like is just it's so much of what my vision's not the right word. But what I've really enjoyed or it just feels like I'm in a sci-fi universe when I'm
Yes.
right?
Yes, I've
Immersion, I
been
think.
fighting people about this ever since the mole came out. And that's why I think the mole, like, and the raft in a similar vein, but the mole for the longest time, I was like, this is the most aesthetically sci-fi pleasing ship in the game
Yeah.
because they take real world examples of industrial vehicles, like actual caterpillars, right, in the real
Yeah.
world, and like the massive like mining trucks and stuff, and they took a bunch of aesthetic designs from them, copied it over, sci-fied it, and then like made it make sense. Like this looks like a big industrial vehicle.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the next equivalent would be like all the MISC ships, which kind of just look like 80s, 90s generic sci-fi ship, if that makes sense. This one has like a lot more flavor to it.
Yeah.
Uh,
I hate
but
the
yeah,
orange everywhere, but
exactly. I love the orange everywhere, right? Like the hazard stripes on like some of the sections, right? Like it feels very appropriate. Um, but I do have a prediction, Mike.
you bring it.
Uh, I don't know if you saw, but at the Orison, like so Invictus is next month, and it's been
Okay.
happening in Orison.
I have not saw whatever you're gonna say, so
Well, so they haven't shown anything in the showroom yet, right?
okay.
They won't usually do that until like the week before.
Gotcha.
Tends to be like around then. But what they have shown, you've got the room where you can buy merch.
Yep.
There's new Argo merch, and my question would be,
Oh.
why would they do that?
Well,
So,
do you think it's because they want to sell Argo merch, like real world Argo merch? What was there? Was it like a hoodie?
uh, so so traditionally it was a orange shirt with black lettering,
Yeah.
and I believe it's been swapped. So it's black shirt with orange lettering. And like it's I'm reading very heavily into it, but my brain says they would only do that if they've got something to offer. Weirdly, Invictus obviously would not be the place that Argo would normally offer
No.
something, because they are contractors for the military, but not in that regard.
Well,
Uh,
Argo
so
makes
yeah,
the
maybe mech stuff,
mech stuff. Yeah, that's what I was thinking
but
because we
yeah,
saw the sneak peek of the battle mech in Wicklow, right at the thing.
yeah,
So
yeah,
maybe, but
maybe
yeah,
Battlemech.
because the other thing that I was going to say is it might literally just be trying to sell real world merch because they had in the
Very
ISC
possibly,
they
yeah,
had the guy in uh, an Argo sweatshirt, so
yeah, yeah.
could have been that. Also, me
Yeah,
looking at
fair enough.
myself without glasses is weird. I'm sure it's weirding other people out as well.
I was gonna say I kept on looking at it. I'm like, did you have a special guest on the stream this week or something?
No, no. So that was I had a hockey game. On the
Yep.
way to the hockey game, I heard that it went wave 1 and I'm like, "Oh, come on, bro. I never am there for when this stuff happens." So I play the
Yep.
hockey game, we win. That's right. And then I come
Nice,
home
nice.
and I go, I need to be a better YouTuber. I need to be a better content creator. I need to actually make content. And I was like, this is all stuff that excites me. So I literally
Yep.
just popped the stream on, recorded, streamed it, turned it into a YouTube video, went to sleep, woke up 2 hours later, did the same thing the next day. And I was like, all right, we're back to the grind again, I guess. But the I just felt like I had to do it. It's like these are the fun moments.
Yep.
Other ship stuff. You said there was something going on with the Avenger
The
Titan.
Titan. Yeah. So they've got if I think you were right when you said before the podcast that the Gladius already had this where it has like the rear flaps that move depending on how you're flying, right? Just animations at the moment. But the implication there is that this is a precursor for control surfaces, possibly.
Okay.
Because these only make sense in atmosphere to like move, at least for the most part. So yeah, just the Avenger Titan. It has some rear rudders, and then also you know how it's got like the triangle top wing. It's got them on there as well. So just a couple animation changes. Nothing huge.
No, and then other small stuff was like the Valkyrie got more health and a little bit more maneuverability. And then I also heard that have you heard about the Herald?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know one. I
sure.
didn't check it out.
I'm sure in your chat as well, you probably get Mardigan, who must be the world's like foremost Herald fan.
Oh, he's literally typed it. He just typed it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, 18 size 2 missiles is crazy on the Herald. That is wild.
If you are a Herald fan, you need to look at this as not a positive. I know I'm always glass half. Look, my glass is half right now. This glass is half empty. Okay? What that's telling you is they have absolutely no plans of doing any E-War shit or anything related to what that ship is actually supposed to do. And they want to make
data
your
running
ship
is a far away.
Exactly. So they want to make that ship usable present day. And if you're happy about that, then be your glass half empty kind of person and be happy about that. But and that's totally fine. I'm not going to knock on you for it at all. But the idea here is I really think that they're going, we have a ship that we have no intentions of delivering the actual features for it for years, probably.
Yeah.
So keep that part in mind. Yeah. Star Runner is going to be worthless. That's also what this might mean. Any ship that's doing data running is probably not going to do that, which is Croncy. Is this not one of the dumbest? Like, we could have easily had data running already. I feel like from a cargo hauling simple standpoint, like go here, pick up this hacking chip, put it in your ship, fly the ship, fly the ship away.
Yeah. Physically fly the ship.
And take the ship
like
out
we have all like the key card things that we've been getting from the CZs, right? Would there not be a way to like jerry rig that to work with data running in some form? Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could do it. But they probably want to do it right. I don't know what that would be.
Yeah, I like that example that we just used doesn't sound the most fun because it sounds like a glorified box mission.
But
and so I would want it to be a little bit more
missions. People
do love box missions. Yeah. That's true.
So don't hate on that.
But I think you're right. I think it is probably very long away. Likely at this point, probably not even a 1.0 feature. Probably a post 1.0.
That's what I was implying. In case that wasn't
clear.
Yeah. Which is these are kind of the moments that it's like, bro, a lot of the things you used to say this is where we look at you as like fans of the game, and it's like that's a tough pill to swallow, right? Herald was one of my like first additional purchases past I think it was, for me, it was like Aurora LN, Connie, and then the Herald. Like it was just one of those, like, oh, I wanted something in my list of ships that did something totally different, that showed me a new avenue of the game. And I mean, I bought that thing a long time ago, right? So it's one of those
Yeah.
that's just like there's going to be some tough pills to swallow when 1.0 comes out, and I think it's for the best, just to be clear. But it's going to suck for some people because that's somebody's
Yep.
favorite chip, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's
Yeah.
definitely Marty's favorite chip. So
For sure, for
yeah, yeah.
sure.
At least they're doing something with it. Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah. What do you want to jump into now? Discussion
So we
wise.
talked last week during the Evocati about the new mission types.
Yeah.
But the patrol and the ambush were not in the Evo yet.
Correct.
They got put in, and then obviously we went into wave 1 and wave 2. So yeah, I think we talk about those because I was really curious where they would go with those styles of missions and how they would play.
What did you think about them so far? Have you done both types or just one of the types? Okay, so
Yeah.
bring
So,
it. What are your thoughts and feels?
So I'll start with the patrol missions first. It is actually isn't really what I expected. For some reason, my brain thought it would be more like an escort mission.
Yeah,
Where
that's what we had
like
spoken
someone
about.
else is patrolling and then I am, protecting them or whatever.
Yeah.
Instead, what it is, I still kind of like, which is just like hey, here are like 3 rooms, to use like Eve terminology, but like here are like 3 rooms
Can I jump in for
where
a second?
there will be encounters.
Just so people
Yep.
don't freak out. This is from today's stream, and I was multi-gaming. I had Eve and start, so I might be alt tabbing to Eve during when this pops up. So I'll try to bounce through it. But yeah, so there's multiple rooms.
So, yeah, multiple rooms of things to do, and by my count, but I might be missing some. There's 4 different encounters that can happen. So one is straight up you rock up, hey, there's a hostile, kill him. One is rock up and ping 3 locations.
Yep.
Where a hostile can appear, I believe, at one of those locations.
Sometimes, yeah.
One is rock up, hey, I'm not sure what's going on here, and this is like actually being told to you by the mission giver. I'm going to do a quick scan, and so you just wait. Yep.
And nothing ever happened.
And then the 4th.
Did you? Ever get...
so far nothing happened.
Yeah.
Empty scans for me. But I imagine once again probably like a hostile can appear. Yep. And then the 4th one that I had was the protect. So rocked up the location, a guy's getting shot, protect them.
There's
it was fine.
Technically.
Okay.
That we briefly talked about. It's kind of a extra layer on top of those. Is like there is a chance for you to come up against an ace pilot. And that's the only difference. That's the only other addition I would add to that. And the sneak peek from last week is confirmed now that it's script. It's another form of currency that you turn into Wicklow. And all of these missions actually provide script in the mission description. I don't know where it is, but it's...
some people were telling me that it was supposed to be like at your home base. I didn't have any there.
Yeah.
I should have had like 10 or so,
but
it wasn't there.
So I think it's supposed to be sent to your home location, and then you send it up the freight elevator, or use the other panel thing and put it in your backpack, and then you turn it into Wicklow that way. But yeah, apparently it's not. But if you do get an ace pilot and you kill them, the body will be there. They have a helmet that Wicklow wants for turn-in and MG script on their core. So there are ways to get those, but it's just very difficult. You said you're there I go, all tabbing into Eve. You told me that you're still on yellow. I'm also still on yellow. So I actually did a ton of missions, recopied my account, did all these things. I thought there was something wrong. What I didn't quite understand is, through the Evo notes and other things, they basically told us you do 5 missions and you will level up. So I was under the assumption that yellow was yellow, orange was orange, red was red. That is not the case. So when you guys are doing these, when you end up in here, there is for patrol, let's say, actually for ambush and patrol, I'll tell you. Ambush is a 20K mission at the start. Patrol is a 30K mission at the start. When you do 5 of those 30K ones or 20K ones, you're going to get another level of yellow. So it goes from like very easy to easy. That pays more. You have to do 5 of those then you get orange, and then there's probably 2 steps within there, and then you get
Yeah.
red. So that it
So
isn't just do 5 random patrol missions,
mhm.
unfortunately. So I did literally 30 of these. Was like, what is happening? I don't understand. Lost my mind yesterday trying to do these because I never gained and I never got past yellow and I didn't know why.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think yeah, because we're used to things like the bounty system being very, very clear, you know,
correct,
uh easy target, variable target, whatever. It makes it a lot easier. So not variable target, very hard target, those sort of things.
correct.
Uh so yeah, they could definitely make it more clear in that aspect.
Yep.
Um so yeah, the patrol missions, the actual like content itself is fine. You know, the reward does feel like it makes me want to grind for it. Though we'll see how much script you get at the later levels.
Yeah.
Someone said apparently it's like 1,500 script to get the surprise ship award. I think something like that. Someone did the calculations.
50 script
So
for a favor.
yeah, 50 script for a favor. So yeah, it's another avenue to use this secondary currency.
Mhm.
Talking a little bit about the ambush one. Sorry, there you go, 2,500, not 1,500. The ambush one. So this one I was curious about. I had assumed it would just be go to location, kill thing. It's a little more complex than that in a good way. So you go in, there's going to be a ship arriving in like 2 minutes, and it tells you go sit over. The voiceover specifically says go sit at this spot and power down. I got told by chat, so keep this with like a grain of salt. But apparently, you just need to make sure that your signature is below 50,000.
It is correct. That's
And the
correct.
mission, yeah, and the mission will succeed. But I do like that there is like a hey, your signature does need to be low enough, and you do need to be stealthy enough to not fail the mission.
Correct.
But then, yeah, you do just wait for the person to arrive, and then it says, yeah, cool, go get them. I would like it to be like a little extra. One thing that I was mentioning that like maybe for an introduction into stealth, this is like cool and it's fine. But I would like there to be something like if you're trying to be stealthy or you're trying to ambush someone, make there be like a risk to it. Maybe when you arrive, there are ships already trying to look for you and you need to avoid them. Then they bug out, then the person you're trying to ambush comes in, right? Like add in a little bit more to it that because it does just right now feel like jump in, power down, wait 2 minutes, attack, and that's it every time.
Yeah, it's kind of boring.
Yeah.
The aspect of them creating a place in the game that hides your signature is
Yeah.
very
Yeah, that's
interesting.
cool. Yeah.
Very
Yeah, so for
kind of
reference,
exciting.
apparently in all of these locations, there's like some of them are clouds, some of them are like literally like within the range of an asteroid that you like sit in. I think it is like a 50,000 like bubble where it's like or something like that. Like your signature is lowered.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
seeing somebody in chat say that it's scripted, like coded, I think, which might mean
Uh,
that like if you go to that location when without a mission, it might not be there. I think is what they're saying.
right. Well, because I was gonna say like yeah. If you like it being fake is sort of fine. It's definitely the case though that if you like leave that area, you fail, or and if your signature goes above it, you fail.
Also,
So at the
video
very least,
games
it
are fake,
works.
right?
What?
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I would like it being fake is fine. I do think yeah, have locations like that just in the universe.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
that would be cool. Like maybe you're chilling around. I don't know, like the asteroid belt of like Terminus or something,
Yep.
and you have these locations that you can hide your signature and you wait for a salvager to come past, that would be awesome.
Yeah, or
So
the other way around, right?
yeah,
Like to hide from somebody and get yourself out of there would be cool too. So
yeah,
I would love to see this um from both avenues. Um
yeah, yeah.
but yeah. So they are kind of doing it. Like I see Tumblerino said for context, the Crusader L1 Nebula has EM signature cloaking, where you can mask EM fully, but obviously you can't mask other things. So
Mm.
this one masks everything and you're completely hidden. I don't know if we should ever really have that, perhaps. But yeah, I don't know. It's very
I
interesting.
would
This
like
could
to
be
see.
abused. It could be used. It could be cool.
Yeah.
There's just like a lot of. This can go all sorts of cool ways.
Yeah, at least for the purpose of like PVE, it doesn't really need to work or not. It just needs to make you think that it works.
Yeah, which is
So like
fine
if
being scripted.
exactly in the PvP discussion though, I would love to see them implement these sort of things into like arena commander map and make it like an active thing. Like the a lot of the sort of like arena commander maps, the actual like places that you go to don't matter that much. Except for like maybe trying to get around a rock just to like, fix your targeting or whatever. But actually being like, I'm getting absolutely ruined. I'm gonna try to run into this spot where my signature drops a ton, that sort of stuff. But anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, both missions like they are as like low level like intro missions to like space combat. They're cool. They have good rewards. They do need to level up, but obviously, yeah, we haven't seen the higher level ones. Or we personally, I don't know if you've seen someone do an orange or a red.
I haven't. No.
Yeah,
I
so
imagine it's just
we'll,
more
we'll,
and
we'll see.
tougher enemies. That seems to be CIG's
Yeah,
go-to for this stuff for now. You get more money.
yeah,
The enemies are a little tougher. I do know that the probability of getting an ace pilot is higher in those higher level missions.
hmm
Those are the only things I know. So,
Have you fought
uh,
an ace pilot yet?
literally 5 seconds before you got ready for the pod, it just happened, and I was like, "Oh,
Yep.
he was just in a Hornet, and that was it." So it was
Okay.
pretty basic, pretty simple, and yeah, it's just like you said, the the fact that I can grind this for a reason that is decent, like Wicklow turn-ins, where
hmm
Hathor was completely PvP, and it was kind of a pain. Not completely, because obviously you can do it by
Yeah.
yourself, possibly, but it was just a tough thing to do for most players. This
hmm
is a really great MMO like experience. You go, you do the
Yeah.
same mission over and over again, you kill the same pig and skin it 500 times, and you get something cool for it. That if you don't
Yeah.
like that, you might not like any MMO ever, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But don't come here and try to make an MMO something that it's not, right?
Yeah.
So
Having the multiple avenues to get it as well is important for more than what some people might think. Like obviously it has the advantage of like if you just don't want to do mine and align, cool, you can go through this avenue. But in
yeah,
addition, people that are doing mine or align, which is an activity that usually benefits a lot more from like a scheduled time a week. Hey, this is when we're going to do it. Well, the entire rest of the week, people still want to play the game, and if they can still work towards those rewards by doing something else, then yeah, you end up at like drastically increasing people's playtime. So my only hope, obviously, is that there are more ways to get script in the future, or favors. Doesn't have to be script to get favors, just more ways to continue advancing those rewards.
yeah. I mean, I that's probably my only like negative feedback around Wicklow right now is the that he's the only one that exists, right? Like I
Yeah,
would
yeah,
much rather turn in MG script to the Mercenary Guild and not Wicklow.
hmm
So just do more. I want more Wickelows that do different things. I don't want to go to Wicklow for everything.
yep,
And yeah, that's it. So just excited for the
yeah,
future on that front, very much so with Star
yep.
Citizen. So yeah,
I think going forward, it's very likely that faction rewards will just be that route. We had talked like years ago about, well, everyone had talked years ago about like reputation just being like the only currency you would get through factions. But I think this is going to be this is going to be the main way. They're not going to give you a reward at the next tier. You're just going to be able to get more of their currency
yeah,
as the tiers go along.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know if you're done on any of the kind of wave one stuff. Is there anything else that pops in your mind? Some FPS changes are for me. Like Karna is a little bit tougher to handle. Gallant got a
Yeah.
huge buff. If you like PVE FPS, highly
hmm
recommend the Gallant energy rifle. Now it is 2 clicks and you are killing
Yep.
a heavy armor in headshots. so it's pretty
Oh,
darn
wow.
good. The
Yep.
I guess we should talk about pistol versus med pen. Do you have any
No,
feelings on that
I've
one?
missed this. What's going on?
So you now have to make a choice. You have to choose. I said med pen, but I mean med gun. You now have to
Yep.
choose to take a pistol with you or a med gun. A med gun is now considered a pistol
Ooh.
and is no longer a utility
No longer a
slot.
utility item. Yep.
And
Okay.
and this gives them the ability to go, one is your primary weapon, two is your secondary weapon, three is your pistol or med gun, four is your med
Mhm.
pen, five is your multi-tool.
Interesting.
So now when you click
Uh,
5, you don't constantly switch between the ones that you were, when you
yeah,
have
yeah,
that problem, you no longer have that
yeah.
problem.
I think I'm I think I'm into it. Like, I do sometimes I do like taking away too much choice. And this might be an instance where it works okay because you kind of have to decide beforehand.
Yep.
You know, do you want that extra? Do you want that extra firepower, or do you want the survivability? If you've got a group, who's going to run the pistol? Who's going to run the med pen? I'm kind of into it. I would even maybe argue, and maybe it's a step too far, that you also make the multi tool that slot as well, and you sort of have to decide between the three. But it would also make like multi tool attachments finally relevant because you could bring that as your pistol slot and then actually change between the different modes.
Wait, do you bring multiple multi-tools?
Well, I'm saying you. Well, I don't, but I'm
Oh,
saying
okay.
like you would, right? Like in this instance, you would bring your multi tool attachments for the medical, for the tractor, and for the salvage.
Yeah.
But then you would lose having a pistol, or you would lose having a proper med gun. You know what I mean? So it would just make that actually make more sense. Whereas right now, it doesn't have much. Like people just using it as the tractor beam and just keeping it on all the time.
Yeah. I think like what's
But yeah,
suggested in the chat, just put it in the melee slot. Like nobody pulls their hands up and starts
yeah,
punching. All right. I
yeah,
don't know.
that's fair.
But
The only time I ever use the melee slot is chuck a knife in there so you can get the instant death takedowns.
the only time I use it is to get myself unstuck. If you punch a bunch of times while you're stuck in collision, it'll actually get
Yep.
you out of it. But
Yeah. Yep.
the only positive I'll say is just pressing 5 and only getting my tractor beam when wanting my
Yeah.
tractor beam has been nice. But I think we
Yep.
always had that option anyway, is what people tell me. But I never did that, and it was just very annoying. So one annoying thing is gone for me. Maybe I could have made that thing go away by setting my keybinds differently, but as a default, to not have a stupid system is maybe something you can consider a positive. But
Yep.
most people don't seem positive on this because pistols are actually quite good, and if you're not using a
Mhm.
pistol, you're probably doing yourself a disservice against a better player. Maybe, I don't know. It's like when you run out of
But are you
ammo.
anymore now that you can heal with your gun? Right. Like now that you have to decide between the two, that's
Yeah, but you always could use
I
the
don't know. I think that's kind
both
of cool.
before. So I don't know. I think it's fine. I don't have too much of an issue with it, but the
Yep.
complainers will complain. Is how it
CZs
goes.
will probably be the best test of that. Just because like in larger combats in PvP, those sort of like it's got more to do with the vehicles that you've brought and stuff. Like
Yeah.
right, like straight up FPS PvP is always best tested at CZs, I think. So
Did you do the stress test?
no, I did not. No,
Me neither. So
I
I don't.
was able to play once this week, and it was 3 hours ago.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
played, but I was so focused on trying to get an ace pilot that I never did anything
yeah,
else. And the stress tests were when I was off the computer, like always. So I
yeah.
missed all the stress tests. But I know Foxy Loxy did the Polaris one, so I haven't seen the video or
Mhm.
anything yet, but I saw the thumbnail for it, so I imagine it was a solid 3 FPS of fun. I don't know.
But yeah,
Hopefully they
they
got
gave
good
everyone a
data.
Polaris just for the test, right? Like
Correct.
just go absolutely ham, see how nuts
Yeah.
it'll be.
Yeah. So whatever on that front, I guess.
Yeah.
And then yeah. That's all I really see from the week outside of ISC.
Yep.
Which did you watch it? Did you
That's what I
like
was
it?
gonna say. Yeah, we had an ISC. It was another like these ISCs are traditionally are like fine. They're good to have, but we've been this year we're very video content droughted,
Yeah.
and so it doesn't feel as good because we don't get to see as much actual work on things that we're going to experience
Mm-hmm.
that like have an impact like right now. New hairs are awesome. Character customization stuff is fantastic, but a player does not think about it very much past the first 30 minutes of the game. So yeah, and this as well, it wasn't really like it was more of an insight into how this dev works
Yeah.
and how their team sort of operates
Which is
rather than
fine.
hey guys, look at this new stuff. Yeah, it's all fine.
The
It's
timing
just not
is
necessarily
not.
the stuff that we want. Yeah.
Timing is horrible. Like really,
Yeah.
really bad. And
Like we had nothing for 3 weeks, right? No video content for 3 weeks, I think. And
2 or 3.
then this was
And
the first one. Yeah.
yeah, this is the first one back. And it's not like there aren't topics that can be discussed.
Mm.
You know, and the only thing is like, is this the only dev that you have access to? Because everybody else is too busy. Because maybe
Yeah.
he had an hour of not making hair that he
Yeah.
could have been there for you. Like, I'm sure he's very busy as well, but the idea here is I don't think you can get the people who made tier 0 item implementation. I don't think you can get Rich Tyrer. I don't think you can get any of these people right now because they got too much stuff to do. And you know what? That's probably a good thing. But just for spoiler alert for Week in Review, I said this in Week in Review. If you feel really strongly about this, make feedback threads because they base their decisions off of your feedback. If you feel that these videos are actually more important than game development, you let them know. And then they might do that. I don't think they are more important than game development. They're incredibly important to me as a content creator because there's something to look forward to every week. There's something to talk about every week. Star Citizen feeds off of what it's going to be, not what it is. And this is the show that puts that food out there for you to feed on, right? I think it's incredibly important. But at this stage, they don't feel it is. And neither do I. I don't feel like it is more important than fixing the game and doing that kind of stuff. So if he has less access to devs,
it's definitely not, but it's
that's
it's
where we're at.
it's definitely not, but it's also like it's very rough for like hype building.
Yeah.
So we'll sort of see usually once again Invictus is in a month. Usually we start seeing like some ship talks and sometimes they like talk about the event and whatnot. And if in fact we are getting Invictus missions or an Invictus event, which they've certainly been like hinting towards, I imagine we'll get a bunch of stuff about that. And to answer your question, Duncan in chat, I just want to hear you talk about Arena Commander all day, every day.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that is what I expect. So maybe this is honestly a bit of a filler. Like maybe there is a little bit more coming anyway.
We just don't know. It's just I assume it just he doesn't have access to people he would normally be able to be like, hey, you're coming on the show. Like they were just like, no more. We need to focus on the game, and that might be the thing. So like, I feel like everyone's giving Jared a lot of crap for this stuff, and like, if you watch the show, like we have the entire episode is just playing. You haven't seen him once. He put the dev in the forefront. He put the work in the forefront. Didn't make it about himself.
He's just there at the
stuff.
end doing his summary, and that's it. Yeah.
And that's it. So it's like, you know, I think he's doing the best with what he has, and I just don't think he's being given anything. So I have no issue from that standpoint. It just comes down to exactly what you said. This is important for hype building and things like that, and it really makes being a Star Citizen during its development much easier. Much easier to get a little peek in on what's going on and to get a feel for what's happening, and to be able to talk about what could happen, what will happen from all that stuff. But I'd rather them just fix the fucking game. So I don't care if there's never another video again. If the game is good, none of this stuff matters. The only reason
Yeah.
we're upset is because the game is bad and we have nothing to look forward to. So that's where we're
Yeah.
at.
But you know what we can look forward to, Mike?
What's that?
Our lovely callers. If you want to call into the Answer the Call
Oh.
show, make sure you go into the Discord link that is should be in the description below. If you're on Mike's channel, you can go !Mark podcast and follow the link. Actually, that's a good point. Before we do go to callers, yeah, the sneak peek. We always talk about the sneak peek. We've got some armor that I've been told the helmet already exists.
Yeah, it does.
In game. But yeah, it's very Gundam looking. It looks like someone's going to pop out of the chest and start operating it.
Yeah, I'll bring it up in a second. I'm just getting our first caller ready. But it was also shown at CitizenCon.
Oh, was this one? I did not know that.
Yeah, let me get my folder of everything. Give me 1 second. This was the image from CitizenCon. There it is. That's the armor.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that definitely is the armor. Just this one's in yellow and the sneak peek is in white, I believe.
Correct. So
sweet.
I don't know what they were speaking about when this armor came up. Was this like there will be no EVA on this and maybe you have to add a backpack to it, or this is cargo lifting armor or something? Don't know what any of this stuff is. My whole feelings around this is it's all just cosmetic crap until you actually implement the things that you talked about at 2024 CitizenCon, like different armor values, the screens on the helmets and stuff like that. And again, those are all probably on the feature side of things, which means good luck getting that anytime soon, given the state of the current situation. So I'm sure there'll be a sale with this armor. Woohoo. Everybody get excited. So
yeah, it looks cool. I imagine once it does get actual like parts, it does look very industrial to me.
Yes.
It looks very similar to the Arrow set, but just like bulkier.
There's the helmet in game.
So yeah, that is a very cool helmet. I will say.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
It's pretty cool. So yeah, similar to your sort of thing. Not a bad set. I think it looks cool. But yeah, just has no practical use yet, so hard to get excited about it.
Yeah, it's cosmetic. Cosmetics are cool, but I guess I have my blocker around cosmetics right now. So yeah, but yeah, you want to go to callers and see what they have to think about the week of updates and if they played the PTU or whatever. I have a funny feeling like these calls are going to be very off topic. So are we going to keep them on topic? Is that the plan?
We'll try.
Okay. Like, I want to know if I should go hard or if I should be gentle.
I feel like we can be a little lenient, but we'll go by caller. We'll see.
We'll be lenient. All right. Amia. I can't say this name. Say it again. Amaimon. There you go.
Amaimon.
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 Or just
howdy.
Or just AMA.
Yeah, just Amai. It's
Amai. Okay, gotcha.
Sounds good.
Cool. What do you want to talk about?
Few different things. I did want to go back to your discussion on the patrol missions.
Okay.
So I think the patrol missions are a really good opportunity to do what they've been doing and utilize pre-existing missions. Because right now, most of the missions have been taken out of the game. So like the Reclaimer missions, bring the Comrays back online, these kind of things. And I think those would be really easy to implement. Just, you go to this point, and then when you get to the point, it triggers, oh, the Comray's down, or hey, there's a derelict Reclaimer, go investigate it. Like a little bit more variety would be nice. Otherwise, I think we're moving in the right direction. I do have some issues. I haven't had much time over the weekend to play all of the new mission types, but I was doing the what's his name? The trainer. I'm blanking out.
Oh, Gilly.
The new Gilly,
yeah, Gilly. So with the ghillie missions, I was doing them around Microtech, so I don't know if it's the same around everywhere else.
Mhm.
But the mission audio, every time you cross the server border for me, restarts and
Yeah.
Yeah.
replays the thing, and you have to wait for it to finish. It gets really annoying. Um, and
Yeah, it's
then the
it
second
feels like it could be the same bug, that's related to, like, when you have multiple missions, you cross the server boundary and then it swaps your tracked mission back to the other one.
that was actually my
Like,
next
it
point.
happens at the exact same time. Oh, there you go, yeah. That's been a bug at least since server meshing came out, pretty much. Um,
Yeah, I
so
can't do call to arms anymore because it just comes back as my primary mission every time.
yeah. Yeah,
But
it's annoying.
Oh, true. Yeah.
also they have it to where, like, I do love this change to an extent where they're trying to focus the missions are where you are, right? If you're around Microtech, I get the missions at Microtech and not at Crusader.
Oof. I got some
But
problems with
I,
this. You probably have the same one I do.
when you go to the location after the mission, you have to go back to Microtech
Yep.
before you can get anything else.
Same at
Yeah, because
Hurston.
they put a bunch of the missions at, like, the L1 and L2 points,
Yep.
which
Hmm.
should be close enough to be considered,
Yeah.
Yes,
like, within the area.
But they're
Uh,
not.
but then
exactly.
not. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very annoying, especially that there are some bugs in this game right now that when you quantum travel, all of a sudden you can't quantum travel anymore.
Yeah, I
Or
had that today.
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah, or when you fly, you can't do you have to get in and out. So
Mm.
there's all sorts of weird issues that are in this PTU. Now, I love this because I think, and maybe we can make some bets or something. I think that because of these patrol missions being such a focus of this patch, that they might actually fix some quantum travel bugs. They might
Oh
really
God, I hope they
try to
do.
fix them because
Yeah.
it is pain to deal with the star map and quantum traveling doing these patrol missions. It shows
Yeah.
how bad it actually is. So I'm hoping, but I'm probably on
Just
copium there.
before just before coming into the waiting room today for the call, I was in SC and I rage quit because I lost my quantum fuel again.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's and there's certain workarounds you can try, but they're not 100%, right? So you might get
Hmm.
lucky and never have it, but I'm not lucky apparently. Um, so yeah, it's kind of nerve-wracking, like, seeing all this stuff coming in, but the bugs we've still had for months or years, are still also in the game, so
Mhm.
But hey,
it's a
mining
balancing
bags,
act. I
they
mean,
they fix those.
Yeah. Yeah. Some stuff that's been broken for a
yes,
while got fixed.
that was actually another point I wanted to, mention is, like, the
Mhm.
mining bags, I wish they would've just when the golem came in, just changed them all to that style of bag.
Yeah.
Maybe you still keep the individual where it's not like a 16 SCU, but maybe it's 2 8 SCUs. But just get rid of the
Mhm.
bags, make them normal stackable boxes. Um, the
I just don't
physics
know how
stuff,
much they would have to change on a prospector or a mold to make that happen, but I don't disagree with you. Maybe
Yeah.
it was
yeah.
less work to do this than it was to just change them in the first place. I don't know.
And I mean, one thing I've been saying about the box stacking and stuff for a long time, and again came to mind with the new Argo changes. Loading cargo grids is a pain in the butt if
Yeah.
you are right up next to a box or the box is right up next to an edge of a ship, it's impossible to interact with. Um, I think the easiest thing, which just like I've done some Unity stuff, I'm not a developer, but I know how to make interaction toggles at least work. And I can see them having an interaction where the moment you start tracker beaming the box, the mesh loses collision until it's put in
Mhm.
place.
Mm.
Then you can position it. It doesn't, just like the Zeus CL, that would automatically fix the Zeus CL if they had that. Just position it, it locks it, and then boom, you're done. But we'll see.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. but I don't know. I'm very much. I feel like I enjoy this update more than I have 4.1. Hathor was sick,
I haven't even done Hathor. Haven't
but
done Hathor.
Yeah.
all the little things that go more down the route of like what I'll be doing every day instead of what
Yeah.
I'll be doing like occasionally or once and then never again.
Yeah.
It
Is
adds
much
more
nicer.
variety.
Exactly. Yeah, like I could see myself taking a break and doing some patrol missions if
Mhm.
they had a little bit more meat on the bone than what they have right now. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Um,
4.1, all we did was the CZs because my
yeah.
friends and I never did the CZs. It's just a couple of us playing together, and so we took 4.1 just to do CDs, and we actually completed it for the first time ever. So
What
we
ship did you
each of
get?
us got
Right.
our own ship. I got a Sealan. My
Nice.
friend got the F7A, and then another
Yeah.
friend got the Cuddy.
Nice. That's pretty good. So
Cool.
you're just the one who got screwed, but everyone else got something decent.
I
No, no, no,
have
no.
plenty
He
of
won.
ships. The Actually, I love the Sealan, so I'm not complaining.
Yeah, there you go.
But the only thing that really I wanted from the ships is NDBs.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Before they
yeah.
came up with the CZs, I had NDBs on every ship with the size 3 mount, and I was really, really pissed that they took them out. So
Yep.
it's my favorite gun in the game, and now, PvP is the only way to get it. So,
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
I
but
wanted to
yeah,
just really quickly go back to your like when you were talking about the patrol missions. You mentioned like it'd be nice to see them bring some of these like older missions into this style or like part of it. And I was sort of thinking like the idea of the patrol mission being like do 3 missions, really small versions of the missions, could have this really cool thing where it's like, yeah, one of these 3, like we've already got random chance, here's a ace pilot with better rewards, right? If there was a thing of like, hey, random chance, yeah, reclaimer wreck spawn, guess what's in the reclaimer wreck? More script, right? You do that sort of stuff. I really hope they take that feedback on board because that would be very cool and make these a lot more replayable as
Can I
well.
can I bounce off of you on that a little bit? It would be
Mhm.
really fantastic if a patrol mission also asked you to get out of your ship and do FPS stuff
yes,
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
That would
Yeah.
be really cool.
yes.
So the idea that these
I
these locations don't have interiors on them like the RAB locations in Pyro, kind of lame.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Not to take up more time, I only really had one more thing, which Croncy just
Yep.
reminded me of. The script.
Yeah.
hmm
I don't personally understand. Like we were saying, how are we getting the script? Because we don't see it anywhere, right?
Yep.
I don't know why they don't just do it like every other MMO in history, right? You have different currencies. Just make it go into a currency slot instead of being a physical item. I mean,
Yeah, we
Yeah.
were talking about this last week because like that is a discussion to have, right? There is genuinely a ton of pros and cons to having it either way. CIG, I think, want to make it physicalized because they want pretty much everything to be
Because they're
physicalized,
ridiculous.
and
Yeah.
yeah, but it also means there's a lot of gameplay implications. Like there's a lot,
oh yeah,
ton
I
of
mean,
bug
You could
it's get
steal it.
implications,
looted and
but a lot of
stuff, right?
gameplay implications.
Yeah, you could
You
steal
can
it.
steal the script. You can physically trade the script, like maybe to someone who's not like you don't want to risk like sending money to straight away type of
Mhm.
stuff. I don't know. There's yeah, there's
Or
implications there.
maybe
I still want you to
I
be able
think
to
I
steal it,
still would have.
but I don't want it to be
Yeah,
a physical item.
exactly. Yeah,
There.
like I want to be able to lose it and I want to be able to risk it, but I would prefer if it was not physicalized.
Exactly.
Maybe they
Yeah.
could have some combination of the both. Like we have all these just prop terminals all throughout the
hmm
Stanton and Pyro and everything. Just make one of them like an ATM, right? It goes into your account,
There
but
are
when you
literal
actually want to go
ATMs.
turn it in somewhere,
Yeah.
you have to actually withdraw that, and maybe that
Mm.
script then goes on a key card that someone can steal and take your own stuff.
Yeah.
Like maybe they could
Yeah.
do it that way, but
They have
You could
ATMs.
see them.
Go to Area 18.
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
Yeah, true.
yeah,
But you can see that working once again because of how CZs work and how Line Mine work with the key cards.
yeah,
There,
exactly.
there's certainly some crossover of design that would work, I imagine.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for your time, guys.
All right, bro.
Yeah, of course.
Thanks
Thank you
for the
very much for
call.
calling
It was
in.
good. Yeah, appreciate it. And sorry I'm so bad with the names. My apologies.
No worries. Take care.
Catch you. Bye now.
Have a good one.
All right. And speaking of names, Cannibal, his name is an actual cannibal, but all those letters don't exactly fit very well with the name above our heads. So, yeah, you're just Cannibal today up there. But welcome to the show.
Yep. Welcome. And also, I noticed that you were in the call room for at least 3 hours. So now 4 hours.
And he didn't get pulled in first? My bad. I just did it in the order that I saw the names.
Cannibal?
4 hours and he's not there.
Maybe that's why. Maybe they never left from last week.
Maybe he fell asleep.
We'll try to get you back in, Cannibal.
Going twice, Cannibal. Bye-bye. Yeah. All right, let's bring in Shark's Bite. Sharks, are you
Shark
there?
Bite. How we doing? Shark Bite. There we are.
Oh, God.
You there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool. I'm on my phone today, so I'm not sure if the audio is better or worse, but hey.
It's actually quite decent.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Better than most people's mics.
I've actually been playing Star Citizen less in the last couple weeks than like in years. 3 weeks? I don't know. Since whenever they announced the Vanduul interpreter competition, because I basically spent all of my time doing that. I went overboard. I'll post a link in chat if you guys want to see it. But basically, I was doing Star Citizen stuff, but in real life, and so that's why I was out. But was glad to hear about a lot of the updates you guys are talking about. I haven't done any of the new mining content, but I did go in and check out the hairstyles and stuff. Since I do that for a lot of people, I make characters. I figured it was worth checking out, seeing what they added. Like he said at the end of the video, they are doing a lot more quote unquote normal hairstyles, which is good. But also like a few more long ones, please. Right now, I have the option to have like super straight hair, a mullet, slicked back, or now they gave kind of like a Prince haircut. And none of those look like my hair.
It's Fortnite fuckboy haircut, basically, is what it is.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. One of those.
I do. Andre's like one of my favorite devs that I've actually like met and talked to personally. Because I spend so much time in the character creator, so I loved the video content this week.
Good,
but I do understand. I'm in the minority there, and that's fine. I loved
it too. I loved it. The episode, the episode's great. Anytime they talk about the devs and put the devs as focus or whatever, those are always very good episodes. Just doesn't necessarily mean you can extract any value about what is the potential of the future of Star Citizen from them, which again is the lifeblood of the community for the moment, right?
Yep.
So
it doesn't hit as hard as like a sprint report does.
Right? Yeah.
So and I love sprint reports too, but it's been 3 years since they even said the word 600i, so I'm living. I was able to give Andre a sample of some of my partner's hair, and the black coated hairs look so much better now. So I don't know if that was the reason why, but
now when you say you gave him a sample,
so I sent him pictures
like
of
in a creepy letter that's like magazine cutouts.
We need more information to avoid
on ArtStation. And we were able to connect, and I sent him some pictures and gave some feedback and stuff. So was really happy to see that stuff improve. And then let's see. Oh, so the Vanduul competition real quick. So I hadn't watched anyone else's videos for that. It was announced in the Squadron 42 newsletter. So kind of a smaller, like you had to sign up for that to be able to read the thing. And so I hadn't seen anyone else's because it was all based on like creativity and you're competing against them and stuff. So I didn't want that to influence my stuff. And then when I start watching everyone's videos after the first few, I'm like, they read the pronunciation guide. They didn't translate the audio. And after I got through like 35 of them, I'm the only one who tried to translate the audio, so I may have read the rules wrong.
Oh,
I like
Look.
literally days of time spent going through all of the Vanduul content that we have recorded, so I might be fucked.
Yeah, wow.
well, good luck then, I
But
guess.
this is is this like the first time they've done a competition in like that, like specifically like
I think the first time they've done anything where they're actually like giving away big prizes for like
Mhm.
linguistic stuff. And that's
Yeah.
why I thought, okay, they have to make this harder than just pronouncing the thing that they gave us a guide for, right? And I don't know if that was it, so we'll see.
Mm. I
But
keep going
anyway.
back to the funny video of the pronunciation guide of the guy who made the language saying in like Jian or Banu or whatever, this is or Vandal, this is my ship. I have a nice ship, and it's just like one of the funniest things of all
That's
time.
hilarious.
Yeah.
He actually was in an entire documentary. I forget what it's called, but I have it bookmarked. I can find it. Where he talks about creating conlangs like Dothraki and shoot, I'm gonna
Yeah.
get shot. The Star Trek one.
Which
Not Klingon.
no,
Klingon,
he didn't make Klingon though, did he?
Yeah, I think he did. He was at least
Seems
either
way
part
too
of it.
old,
He
or
mentioned
way
it
too
in
young.
some of
Yeah, I
his
was gonna
work.
say, is this guy 90 years old?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's 90, but he definitely was involved in like a lot of the fleshing out of a lot of the serious conlangs and stuff. So
Okay.
Cool.
yeah. Anyway, yeah. So I can post a link to chat, but I basically
for
made
it.
an entire silicone Vanduul head that I can wear,
Nice.
and threw together some armor out of scrap cardboard and stuff. I figured it was the Vanduul way.
And now there's no physical citizen con either for you to go to do a cosplay with
Yeah,
it.
hey, I know.
Unreal.
I didn't
I have to
know
go to a
that when
bar
I
citizen.
started it, but
Yeah.
maybe they'll do a virtual costume contest.
True. Actually.
Yeah,
Fair
and
enough.
we'll still get to
Actually
wear it to
true.
bar citizens.
True. Well,
Yeah,
all
they
right,
did
Shark.
that. They did a
Oh, go ahead.
virtual one, right?
I think so.
During the I think the second virtual one, they did a online costume contest. So yeah, it'll probably happen.
Yeah. Maybe. Shark, you got anything else before we let you go?
No, I think that's all. I look forward to seeing how this new patch comes out. I'm actually going to get in BTU. Oh, they are doing one more test, I believe, 10 my time. So 2 hours from now.
Another stress
Last
test?
one's
Yeah.
Hathor, I think.
Okay, yeah.
Today's Hathor,
And
which is a
I
really
think they still
important
want people to
test.
bring their Polarises. Polari?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very
Yep.
important test, this one, actually, because this is the one that determines if whatever fixes they put in will probably work on live and stay there consistently, which has been the problem with Hathor, right? So there you go.
Yep. So I'm going to jump into that for Evo for the first time in the entire, month or whatever that the costume was running. So
yeah. Well,
yep,
good luck
I'll post that link.
on that
I'll let you guys
contest.
go.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, Shark.
Have a
Be
good
good,
one.
man.
Appreciate it, mate.
Bye now. Oh, there he goes. We'll try Cannibal one more time, and then we'll shoot him out. Sound good?
Yep.
Cannibal, are you there?
Cannibal,
Testing.
I'll be
1, 2.
there.
1, 2. 5, 4. Wake up. Good morning. He's not there.
4 hours.
Yeah, poor guy. Throw him in the dump. Ah, that sucks. Feel bad.
Let us know, like in the Discord, in like just type in general at some point over the week what you're been, and we'll talk about it in the Discord.
Exactly.
But yeah, we'll move on to our next caller, which will be Warbotniks. How are we doing, Warbotniks? You are muted at the moment.
Is everybody going to be muted today?
God.
Oh no.
We had like a full room at the start.
Yeah.
All right.
There we
Sorry.
are. Hey.
I was double muted, and I forgot I did mute myself, so I didn't bother anyone in the waiting room.
All good.
all good. Welcome in.
Yeah.
Welcome, dude.
Yeah. So yeah, I actually did. Yeah, myself did take a bit of a break from the game as well.
Okay.
Not most of it not by choice, just because work has been getting busy, and also I wanted to be a bit more productive outside of SC. So
Yep.
yeah, so try to finish as many projects as I can. But I will say this: I have been going to Hathor. Actually, I'm in Hathor right now.
Gaming.
Fair enough. Yep.
Well, yeah. well, getting shot actually. Um, but basically, I've been having a blast at Hathor just by myself.
Yeah.
Because one, I've just been just towing people's ships away and just stripping them, and
Yep.
then there you go. Yeah, so it has been a blast. I did just find the new rifle, the electric rifle, the
Yep.
Parallax, and yeah, it's just a lot of great content. I am glad that they are adding these little sandbox things that anyone can go in and out and do their stuff.
Mhm.
But I do hope that they start adding back in the bounty hunting missions again because yeah, people are just there are people that are just just killing for fun and not really taking anything. So
I mean, there's nothing to
I do.
take. There's a lot of like I've done the solo thing too, but what are your
Mhm.
feelings there? Do you shoot on site or are you trying to talk to people before shooting? Like I've felt the need to shoot on site because
Yeah.
when I didn't, I got killed, and
Mhm.
also I'm farming keys for when Hathor actually works. So if they're there,
Mhm.
they're potentially going for the keys as well. So it's just we're competitors
Yeah.
here, dude. So you're gonna have to go down, and that's pretty much how I've done it. But what's your mentality
We
been about it?
I've been doing the first. I'll try VoIP. If
Yeah,
I get no response, I'll do the blinking light fake Morse code that we tried to do. So like
Yeah. Yeah.
hi.
how many times have you
The
died because
the
of this?
talk of this, right? Like the do that until they
Um
respond.
Anytime I've seen a player on the ground, I've never had to get into a gunfight.
Are you by
However, if I
chance the
ever
guy who landed? I was recording. I was recording for Week in Review yesterday.
Mhm.
Are you by chance the guy who landed at me, came out with an ice cream cone, handed it to me at Hathor, and then just kept going like this? Like, do you like it? Do you like it? And I'm like, yeah. I give him a little thumbs up. And
no.
then I shot him in the head.
However,
I did shoot him because what are you doing? I killed the
um
guy.
Wow. Wow.
no, that was not me.
Okay.
But remind me not to offer you any food or drink in the future.
Anywhere
We
but Hathor, man. Like you're still competition.
um no,
Mike's so concerned
actually,
that like somehow this guy's figured out how to make like ice cream's poison in the game or something. He's gonna
Yeah.
die.
I ate the ice cream. Well, I did not eat the ice cream. I was wondering if what he was trying to do was get me to take my helmet off.
I actually
Ah.
I thought he
for a
was actually
different
evil.
content creator, I think Saberfox, I
Mhm.
did drop by and drop off food and water and ammo for him
Okay.
Yep.
because I saw him in pyro. So
Yeah.
that's even more shoot on sight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
um
I shot the
um
ice cream, man.
oh. Oh, that's another thing too. We do need like the taco like truck and like cutter
Yeah.
ASAP.
Maybe if he was in that,
Um,
it would have been different. If there was a place where I could
Yeah.
have taken my helmet off, but there wasn't.
mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm usually not a shoot on sight person, but this game has made me shoot on sight in Pyro on and ask
Yeah.
questions later. But whenever I see there's a small opportunity to at least try to collaborate, I'll at least reach out. But at
Hmm.
least I'll bring a friend with me, usually farther behind me, to like, hey, in case this person does anything funny, go ahead and just zero him out.
Yeah.
Um, the other thing I have been enjoying quite a lot more lately. Maybe just because I haven't been doing it a lot um recently is mining. Um,
Okay.
Mhm.
and I've just been just mining with friends, just chilling to lo-fi music again. Salvaging just not as fun anymore, except for like stripping like components off of ships at Hathor.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, my main ship has been an SRV, and funny enough, actually, people don't shoot on site SRVs as often, just because there's no guns on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So the intent, everyone knows your intent is salvaging mostly, but of course, I have had a missile thrown my way, and like, okay, all right, I am not welcome here.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
um,
you're excited for the new mining changes then?
I am very excited for the new mining changes. Um, I cannot wait, and my entire org, majority of them actually don't play this game much right now, just because they're all waiting for something. One's waiting for the Erastra, and the other one's waiting
Yep.
for base building, because that's another thing that I am very depressed every time I do mine though. Like, I'm just like, okay, ignore the iron, ignore the corundum,
Yeah.
like ignore this. Like, I wish I could be using this for something, because
Mhm.
as I mentioned before, I want to do crafting, I want to make stuff. And that's actually another reason why I've sort of disengaged myself from Star Citizen for almost a month. Is um because
We need that
every time I
extra
skip
layer.
weapons, yeah, I need that extra
Yeah.
layer. I want like an end goal to, like, to make something with. Wicklow is cool and all, but as you guys mentioned earlier in this podcast, the only way to get the Wicklow's favors is to do the Hathor stuff, and that requires a large
For
group.
now.
And
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, for
Until the
now,
new patch.
yeah, yeah, until the new patch. Um, and so I've not been really needing to go do a long term like thing at Hathor, except for these little short stints running into Hathor, grabbing stuff and running out.
Yeah. I've
Mhm.
really
So
enjoyed doing that, by the way. Like that, I refound like my passion for playing the game by doing that. It's been really fun.
Yeah.
oh yeah, like the scavenger rat in me just, I
Yep.
could not stop. And also so many fun little, also like a lot of fun weapons are here too. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
the Valor, the Fates, and also within the loot boxes are subscription gear. I was like, oh,
Mhm.
cool.
Yep.
So, in one sense, like I don't need to be a subscriber anymore for this stuff. So, yeah.
It's true.
Um, yeah. So, other than that, I am still slightly worried though, um, about, overall this year for the game, just because um, we are very little. We are not seeing a whole lot of ISC, but we don't know if that is a good or bad thing.
Yeah.
Um, because I do look forward to that almost every week,
Yeah.
just to see what's going on,
Yeah.
because that's actually part of the ride.
It was such like a part of my life for so many years. When you think
Hmm.
about it, it's not easy to not have it anymore.
Yeah. Although to be fair for you, it's at least make sure we can round up on Mondays a little bit shorter, I
Yeah.
guess.
It's a much easier breakdown to break down patch
Yeah.
notes
Yeah.
and not a
Hmm.
20-minute video, right? And try to
Yeah.
condense it and make it good, but
Hmm.
I'd rather have more to do than less, personally.
Yeah. And yeah, so I've just been, yeah, for the most part, I have taken a break with this game, and but now that I've returned and trying to do the, just running through Hathor, running back, and just mining with friends, it has been a relatively pretty like good experience.
That's good. That's
Um,
good.
Dude.
so yeah, as I said, I'm just waiting for that extra layer. I can't wait to,
Mhm.
start, and then, oh yeah, actually, now I remember what I want. What was that Spectrum integration that was like sort of leaked?
Oh, it's so dumb. Um, it is when you create a party on in game, or you
Hmm.
can. I think you can create one on Spectrum. That there'll be a dedicated Spectrum chat group made as well. And it's only when
Oh.
you make a party, which is really dumb, because if you utilize the chat channels, then you can have like a chat channel for your org. Then there'll
Mhm.
always be a group chat going on Spectrum as well that maybe other people can, hey, I'm at work. It's like being on Discord essentially and finding out what's
Yeah.
going on before you get in game is I think that's the idea there, but they chose party instead of chat channel. So it's less permanent
Mhm.
and it's kind of you can't join the party if you're not in the game. So it just like doesn't make any sense to me at all. It's really stupid. So I think it's just straight up looking at the tech, looking how it's working, and that's about it for right now. But the like it as a use case, it is
Mhm.
non-existent. So I wouldn't even
Mhm.
pay any
Okay.
mind for the moment.
So you don't see this as like maybe a first step to adding things like the Galactopedia, and other aspects of,
No,
of the
it's
website into here.
no. It's just a social thing. It's they've always said that
Yeah. If
Spectrum was meant to be Discord, and this is that.
If
Okay.
it's to test anything, it's literally just like future chat functions.
Yep.
Yeah, and that'll be it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all right, Warbot,
All
you got anything
all
else, or
right
is that
then.
it?
No, not right now. Just
Okay.
happy to come back to the game for a little bit after
Mhm.
taking a hiatus. I think it was pretty healthy too because
Yep.
getting stuck at Crusader for a week and a half really killed it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but yeah, I'll get going then. Yeah, and I think that's it.
All right. Sounds good,
Awesome.
dude.
Well, we
Thanks for
appreciate the
calling in.
call. Thank you very much.
Yeah, man.
All right. See you maybe next week. All right.
All
Bye.
right. Talk to you
Sounds
soon.
good. Catch you,
Bye.
mate.
Hopefully there's something good to talk about next week because we blew our load this week with everything 4.1.1. All right. Our next caller,
Hellhawk.
Hellhawk, welcome.
What's going
How we
on,
doing?
guys?
What up?
Not much. Just running a podcast.
I haven't had my coffee yet, so bear with me here.
Good.
Couple things I wanted to go through. First of all, I've been asking for the refining update for a while, so it's nice to see that come in.
Yep.
Can finally start playing with strip mining ops, and obviously there's no reason to do it right now, but just going through the gameplay loop is fun.
Yeah.
RP
RPing a little bit
having
is, cool.
Yeah, and I was gonna say having no like tech limitation to it is obviously like a big bonus because now it's like cool. Hey CRG, now you can give us incentives to do this.
Yep.
So we're getting closer.
Mhm.
There are a couple things I'd like to see. I mean, obviously, being able to select which bag you're refining would be nice. Being able to see the contents of the bag, so when you're organizing things and shifting inventory around, you have an idea of what's going on.
So you mean like in your freight elevator, like actually seeing what the bag has?
Yeah. So if you're unloading onto a caterpillar, that caterpillar loading guy can say, okay, this is this material, this goes here. Something like that. And then, I mean, obviously we need to get empty bags back. Right now, it's not the end of the world, but one of the
we talked a little bit about it in my stream today. I am still okay with like the bags being eaten. It's because I don't hate the fact that like if you're doing the logistics, you've got to mess around with like who has the bags and whatnot. I mean, the big problem is just how expensive they are. So it's like because they're getting eaten, it's not like you're once again not incentivized to like do the process at all because you're gonna lose all your money, right?
Right. So I see it as like as the quick and dirty. I don't really care either way right now because we still have a lot to do. But what I'm thinking more of is, regardless of how they balance the economy, I would like to retain the bags, and then how the mining bags are scrunched down and they're like in a hopper on the prospector.
That's what
It
an
would be
empty
nice to
bag
get those
looks like. A full bag.
Yep.
What if they expanded so you knew if it was like half full?
That would be ideal.
Yeah.
That would be ideal. But I'm not holding my breath on that.
Me neither.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
And I'm really hoping they don't scrap the prospector mole reloads.
That bag is still there. That extra bag above it is still there.
Yeah.
So I don't think it will.
Okay. Well, that's good. Another note, like I'd love to use the whole series for mining ops. I still don't trust cargo unloading and loading. I'm still having bugs with it.
You cannot use the hull A.
Really? Oh, that's right, because of the bag height.
You have to combine it with a golem or no prospectors, no moles. That's why this bag height thing is so problematic. It needs to be addressed because the hull A is perfect.
Hopefully that's a quick tweak though.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
A hull A is a full mole or two prospectors. So it's like you really want that. And
Now see, Mike, you're not thinking about this like the CIG marketing department. We get a new Argo ship that can only hold ore bags, and that's it. Nothing else.
Or specialization. Yeah.
No, there's a new Argo ship that can only hold mole bags, and then there's a new Misk ship that can only hold Misk bags, even though they are exactly the same with a different stamp on them. Yes.
Guys, stop getting
we're just
ideas.
making CIG money.
Yeah.
We're gonna have variants of everything now.
Yep.
Actually, for the raft change, I was a little disappointed with the raft change because they got rid of the gantry system. If if you look at a lot of the other concepts that are out there, the Galaxy, the Kraken, what the fuck is that? Merchantman, a couple others. It has basically a tractor beam staring straight down, and it moves on an overhead gantry. And the idea is, if we get into higher cargo volumes, that's what we're going to be able to need to properly move things around. So I'm hoping this was like a quick and dirty. The raft was terrible before, now it's usable. But they don't scrap that system entirely, because I think it is going to be required later.
Their cargo tractor beam placement on every ship has been less than ideal.
Yeah, you know what, the CL, the Zeus CL, it wasn't bad.
No, but the
It's
grid
not
on the
terrible.
Zeus CL is horrible. So
Yeah,
there you go.
that's true.
But I think it's 3 high. So there's that.
The gantry system is cool, but I think once again, like the reason that this happened to the raft is because they are realizing that players don't want to do it like that, right? Like when they're actively playing. So obviously, like the ships you mentioned are very big and very far away. So who knows what it'll look like at that point. But
Right.
I can understand the disappointment, but at the same time, yeah, this is a fix purely for how players actually play the game.
Yeah, it was like, oh, hey, we looked at the way people play and we made it better. And it's like, oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah, and again, for me, the raft is kind of a nothing burger. I don't really care either way, but it's more of, I hope they don't scrap that later, because the larger volumes will need a different... You can't have, like, 2 central tractor beams and expect to be able to move stuff in an enclosed hull. It's just not going to work. As far as data running, I'm hoping they're not scrapping data running, because to me that has knock-on effects to scanning and exploration. Like, I would like to be in a position where we can scan things down, save it to data, and and transport it. And I don't
I mean, I would like to, but what do you do with it? And then all the other things that have to support it. I would like to be in a situation where all the things that they promised that they would do is going to happen before the game releases. That would be fantastic. Right. But we're living in the real world, and I don't think.
Well, I don't think it's happening at all, based on what we're seeing. And I almost feel like they're going to completely dumb down scanning. I don't think that's getting an update anytime soon. Part of that is the ambush mission that they're showing. You have to be in a scripted spot. And again, it's basically their version of you're hiding in the tall grass and you're waiting for someone to come by.
Yeah.
And I was really hoping that we get more from scanning for the PvP side of things. For PvE, it doesn't matter, right? But again, fine with the quick and dirty. It works for the mission, but please, for the love of God, revamp scanning. Allow us to scan things down. Because for me, the missions don't mean anything. I don't care about the missions. If they made it so that things were a little more organic, to where instead of getting a mission to ambush something, I scanned something down, put myself in its path, and ambushed it, that to me would be the ideal. And
imagine the mission instead was, we're going to tell you where they're coming from and where they're going to. You need to figure out the rest using the mechanics of the game, right?
Exactly. That would be perfect.
Yeah, I agree. But the thing that I get with now with some of these things over all this time following the game is I feel like they're going, all right, let's put something in extremely simple and dirty and see if they like it. And if they like it, then we can take it to that level.
And expand.
Yeah, but it's hard, though, because if you're basing it off of the quick and dirty, what if people don't like the quick and dirty? Because it needs more depth to make it feel better.
Yeah, I get you. But
so then, maybe they put it on the back burner, but either way.
Yeah,
I think I do agree with you. I don't want them to push away these mechanics. I think specifically with data running, because I think scanning is disconnected enough and has other implications that it might be probably still on the table for a 1.0, as in detailed system scanning. Specifically in regards to data running, I think it is a case of it is too close to current mechanics and current gameplay or plans for that gameplay that, look, we're not going to be doing a big detailed different version of this until much further. That's why they've made the change to the Herald. It could also just be literally the case they want to see more people flying the Herald straight up because no one uses it.
Right.
And it actually speaks nothing to what we're talking about. But it's a piece of speculation that makes sense. So.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. And we pretty much covered everything I wanted to go over, except there was one of the earlier callers had mentioned wallets and taking chips off players for script, and I actually like that idea. And utilizing the ATM system. But the last thing I gotta ask, Croncy, what's up with the Post-its, bro?
With what?
The Post-its behind you.
Well, maybe if you watched my stream, you'd know. So now I'm not going to tell you.
Fine, fine. You're gonna make me watch. Okay.
He bends down really low and writes subs names on them for sure. That's the guarantee.
I've got my hot pants on.
Yep.
This is why you picked Croncy, Salty.
Yeah.
Gotta get that content.
Exactly. You're on top of it. You're on top of it. All right, Hellhawk. We'll let you go,
guys have
dude.
a good one.
Bye now.
Yeah, we appreciate the call, mate. Have a good one.
All right. And because we lost a few callers, we'll bring in somebody who came in a little bit late. Tybles. And this will be our final.
Tybles, how you doing?
Are you there?
Are you there?
That might be it then.
What?
Go.
Oh, sorry.
Hey, there we are.
It was doing double. Sorry. I was like, wait, what the hell? Okay.
We need to like have a message for somebody. Like every time they join the channel is like, turn off the stream.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Right. Yeah. For some reason, my Discord stuff isn't like pinging when I get into different channels. So.
So you don't hear it. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Yep. Well, welcome in. How you doing?
Hello.
What do you want to talk about?
Good to see you guys. I am just excited for the raft rework.
Nice. Okay.
I spent a $5 CCU and turning my tank into one. So
they got another one.
Yep. Easily.
Remove content from a ship.
Sure.
Make money.
Yep.
The only game that could do that.
Genius.
Literally,
someone just got promoted.
Content. Makes money.
Yep. I can't wait to see what they do with other ships. They've been busting them out left and right, and I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, one of the big things about like, hey, no feature work but still content work this year means still lots of ships and lots of changes to ships.
Yeah.
Yep. Still got that sickness.
Oh yeah.
I also love the fixes to all the mining stuff. Which I got a golem just so I could put it in my iron chad and have a bunch of extra boxes and all that stuff.
Yep.
And that's perfect that they're fixing it before they come out with the iron chad. So
yeah,
I'm excited for that as
just
well.
The first time I snapped a bag to a grid, it was like, it's like
right,
a very glorious.
Such a relief, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually was
finally
watching your video on that. I was like, oh yes.
Yeah. I was thinking, and let me know if you guys want me to do this because it was really long pain in the ass edit, and I didn't think anybody would watch. I went through all the ships that I had and showed the stacking and like, would I use this for a mining group? And it was most of the ships were no. Like most of them were no.
Right.
It's basically C2 and Hull C, and that's it.
Yep.
Everything else is kind of out right now. So yeah.
Does not a caterpillar? Caterpillar feels like it would be okay.
A caterpillar cannot fit a mole in the base.
Oh.
Because
but it has a 4-stack, right?
No.
No?
I couldn't.
Yeah, you can fit 2 8 SCU boxes on top of each
Yeah,
other.
it should have a 4 height, which means
Maybe I didn't
still
try.
only one layer, but
maybe I didn't try.
Yeah. Because I feel like the caterpillar opening up the sides obviously makes it like a lot easier to, throw cargo in and stuff.
And it has a tractor beam.
I'll give it another try. I'll give it another try. Could be then. Cat might
But
be
still,
okay.
still not many. Still not many
Because
ships.
I think at the moment that I tried the caterpillar, I didn't No, you can't. It has to be 6 high to stack 2 bags on top of it, and it has to be
Yeah, but you can
5
stack
high.
one bag.
No, it has to be. You can't stack. So
No, but you know what I mean. Like you can do like one layer of ones, right?
yes, but it's maybe because I couldn't put it in front of the. I'm trying to think of why I came to that conclusion. My guess is I didn't put any. How wide is it? Because I couldn't put in another bag in front of the ladder, but I wonder if I could have put it in front of the ladder farther forward, and maybe I didn't try.
Maybe.
Gotcha. So maybe it can only fit like 1 or 2 in each bay.
Yeah, it was 2 rows.
Side by
That's all I
side.
was able to. So it was a bit of a mess, and I wasn't able to do. I couldn't stack them on top of each other because it would have to be 6 high, and I couldn't stack. I couldn't do the golem box bag and then stack on top of that because that would need to be 5 high, and it's not. So it was just if they just go boop, it's like the whole world opens up to you. So now I need to try it though, because if you can fit a mole in a bay and you have multiple bays, then it's perfect. But because I couldn't fit a mole in a bay, because our whole thing is that I want to pay you for what's in those bags the moment you give them to me. That's the value I'm providing to you by doing that, is that you don't have to go to the refinery. You get paid for mining done. And and then maybe we pay you 90%, maybe we pay you 80%. I don't know. And that's how we gain the value in doing it for you. That's how we make money. But I just looked at the ship and went, I can't fit 8 bags in here. I can't use it. So I just was like, next ship. But now maybe I need to look at it a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. And a lot of the previous callers adjustments to them, like seeing how much is in there and what's in there and all that stuff is definitely a must for the future.
Certainly feels like something they could probably do with FPS scanning, right?
In the middle of the show, I messaged somebody that was like asking me questions about something sort of related to that, and I was like, I have a suggestion. So we'll see. Maybe I could try and be like, hey, this makes sense, and they'd be like, oh yeah, it does, and then they might do it, but I don't think so.
Right.
But I think you're right, Croncy. For FPS scanning, that actually sounds better than what I was
it makes
thinking.
sense within that context, right?
Yeah. Ping,
cool.
and then you see everything insane.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what I'm excited about.
Okay.
Just what do you guys think they're gonna change for the next ship? Since they're working on all these ships, what ship do you think they're gonna adjust next?
Oh, that's actually a good question. It's because the first
they're
thing
working on a few
is
select ships.
The first thing you have to think about is like, what's wrong with ships that needs to be fixed. Yeah. Oh man.
I did hear people saying like the Connie needs to get addressed again and like finalized, right? Like they've done like 5 different versions of the constellation over the years, and it keeps still just being like off.
Yeah. But don't you think that's like a big boy change?
Yeah, it's gotta be like a 600 high change.
Yeah.
Similar.
I don't know. It's too hard to predict, I guess. Like there's too many different changes they could make. I would just assume that whatever change does happen, it probably has something to do with another ship of similar being released, right? So like maybe the Star Lancer gets some changes when the TAC comes out next month. Or the Perseus
missile boat
getting worked on. The Gladiator or the
Gladiator.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that being
different, more missiles, more in line with some of these other ships, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe add some bombs to it.
Yeah, maybe
since it's a bomber.
Yeah. It looks like a bomber for sure, right? So
it's classified as a bomber on the it's classified as a bomber on the website.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah,
there you go.
They have the bomb sizes to fit it too. I don't know why they just don't connect it.
I'll use that one then, because it's sounds like the simplest. So like simplest thing, the quick, because they're doing just quick and dirty right now, right?
Right.
That sounds like a quick and dirty thing. Where Croncy's is the thing I want to happen the most.
Yeah,
I love the Connie, and I really want it to be great. But I don't think that's a quick and dirty right now kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. But all right, Tybals. I guess that's where we let you go, and we call it a show. But thanks for coming in.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks for unmuting your mic.
Yeah.
It was a much better call.
It wasn't muted. I just didn't say anything. I was like, wait, wait a second. What's going on here?
I'll just let them fool themselves.
Yeah.
All good. We appreciate the call. We'll hear from you soon.
All right, brother.
Thank you.
Catch you soon.
Peace.
Bye. And poor Cannibal. Poor Cannibal.
Yeah, in there for a minimum 4 hours.
Poor guy. So no matter what, we have to remember that name, and if we see him, he's first to know over everybody. Deal?
Yeah.
All right. So, guys,
hey guys, I'd like to talk about Tier 0 implementation.
All right, Cannibal. It was great talking to you. We'll talk to you soon. We'll talk to you soon, brother. But yeah, that's where we'll end it. So if you guys enjoyed the show, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you check us out on Twitch if you guys haven't yet, and hit subscribe here if you want to see more Answer the Calls, and maybe check out some old shows, things that we talked about, and all that. And we appreciate you guys. So with that said, is there anything else? Anything else for you, Croncy, before we go?
I'm going to bed.
Me too. Well, I'm going to eat and then I'm going to take a nap because my sleep has not been good either. So, but that's where we'll leave it. So don't forget to go to
answer the call.
I was going to say to go to bed. Oh, I got to do the outro. Don't forget to do the outro. There we go.